All right, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to wire up a 1UZ just on the engine stand, just to make sure you don't got any rod knock or weird noises coming out of it. This is going to be a really quick wiring. If you're putting this in your project, you're going to want to get a harness, or you're going to want to make a harness with something that's not this. This is just to get it running, make sure it doesn't sound bad. I noticed that no matter how hard I searched, it was really difficult to find a wiring guide that's just straight simple, just to get it running for like 3 seconds on the stand, just to make sure that you have oil pressure, whatever you're looking for. So I just wanted to make one for future me in case I need to test another one, test this guy without having to go through the hassle of looking through forums and videos to start it up again. In my scenario right now, I do not have the airflow meter hooked up. I actually don't have one, so I'm just leaving that out of the wiring. I just idle with my hand on the throttle cable. So starting off the very basics, you just want your starter cable hooked up to power. This is right by your AC compressor and your oil filter. Just this big cable, and connects to the main power. And this other red wire over here hooks over to my fuse box, which I'll show you guys shortly. These jumper cables really suck, so I'm actually just running both sides as the ground. The engine would not crank over with just those jumper cables, which is why I needed to strap it straight to the actual battery. Then coming up here, you need to send switched power to actually engage the solenoid. That will be just on the top back here is where they normally are on these engines. There's 3 prongs. It's the bottom middle one. These 2 top ones are knock sensors, and you just want to apply switched power to that. So I just have a little switch here running off my fuse block power, and then I just put a nail in there and hook that guy up. That allows us to crank it over, which we'll need very shortly. All right, so coming over to my fuse box, these are all the fuses I needed to run this. So only five wires here. So the 15 amp fuse comes around to a switch. This is my fuel pump switch. I just have hooked up to a Honda fuel pump and just bolted on some hose. Something that I struggled with was finding the pressure line hose here and the return line. Your return line comes in from this side of the motor, the back right bank, and it will basically just be a tube where your pressure line comes into your fuel relay or regulator, sorry. And yeah, so just want to bolt it on there. Okay, coming back to the fuse box, this next 15 amp fuse runs over to your body plug, and it's the top right plug wire. It plugs into, on the other side here, a black wire with a red line on it. That powers your igniters right here. That powers your igniters and also your fuel injectors up here. That one right there. So you need to send power to that one. I just put on a 15 amp fuse. I have no idea if that's too high or not. I would just run a 10 amp, and if it blows, then you just move up to 15. And then for these next 3, these guys all just run to the ECU. They run to the 28 prong plug, and they're all on the right side. I'll show you guys a diagram which ones these are, but it'll be, the top one will be your ignition switch. The second one will be your battery. So this is not switch power, this is straight power the whole time. This is to keep your memory in your ECU. And then the bottom one will run your fuel relay. That basically just sends power to open your injectors. I did find this very simple diagram online. It worked like a charm. One thing you do need to remember about this is you're not looking at it from this angle. You're actually looking at the plug from this side. Little demonstration on it working. Fuel pump on, let that prime the system. And then you just kind of crank it over. You can give it throttle if you need. If I only have one hand, so I'll just show you 5. And yeah, there you go. You have it wired up. Real easy. The forums make it seem like it's a lot harder to do than it really is. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer as soon as I can. And thanks for watching.